Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another Tonicized live stream. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a great day. Looks like I'm a little quiet, so I'm going to turn myself up a little bit there. There we go. Welcome, welcome. I'm feeling a little tired today. I don't know if it's coming through, but I'm feeling like, wow. And I don't know why. I think we're kind of coming through. We're trying to kind of make our way to Christmas time. We've got 2 weeks until that all happens. It's like, what, 2, maybe 3-ish weeks? Kind of. I think 3 is probably more accurate. But yeah, it's crazy how fast Christmas came upon us. I really don't know how that happened. Feels like everything just kind of happened crazy. So we still have the chewed up microphone cover. We still haven't bought a new one yet. So that's a thing. It's unfortunate, but that's a thing. So if you're wondering why there's chunks, it's my cat. But yeah, Christmas is coming. Really excited, but also got lots going on here in the next few weeks, which is kind of why I had to reschedule this stream. So I apologize if anyone was looking forward to the Saturday stream. It just stuff came up and just couldn't fit it in, so I had to boogie. And now we're here, so which is totally cool, totally fine. I want to show you guys some things in terms of what's happening with Carol of the Bells. We were talking a little bit about that, and I did work on it a little bit outside of the stream, and I wanted to share with you guys kind of what is happening with that and kind of what kind of the thought process is when you create different arrangements of different tunes and what are kind of the pieces that you would need to put stuff together. So we'll look at that a little bit, but if there's any questions or anything like that today, I would be really open to talking about that today. I don't think the Carol of the Bells will take up the whole kind of 45 to 60 minutes that I have planned today. So if you have questions on theory or anything like that, please feel free to put it in the chat or just reach out to me later on and maybe we can talk about it another day. So yeah, we'll start with the Carol of Bells today and see where it goes from there. But in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see here, if you learned something new, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below what you'd like to see on the next stream. It'd be super, super cool. All right, so I want to say hello to my Gully. Hello, hello. Theory Mary is here as well. Welcome, welcome. Carol was in the stream yesterday, but I had to postpone it. So I hope that we'll be able to get some more of us in today. If not, that is totally okay. That is my bad. I apologize for that. And we'll be able to maybe watch a little bit later on in a different day. All right, moving into Carol of the Bells. I'm excited for this. If you jump in, say hi, say hello to those in the chat. And yeah, we'll go for there. We'll see how long my energy can last today because I'm feeling a little meh. So we'll give it a try. Well, out of the frame, in the frame, out of the frame, in the frame. Okay, cool. There we go. Here we go. All right. So we have got Carol of the Bells here. Now, I'm going to start this from the very beginning. It's going to be a little longer, but as you can see, I've color-coded some things here and kind of made it, or tried to make it as obvious as possible for what's actually happening. So I'm going to just turn all of those off for now so we can focus in on, actually, I'm going to keep that because I'm kind of like the bubble there. So let me know if you can't hear anything. You should be able to hear everything quite clearly. I'll double check on my end as well just to make sure, but should be good. Coffee, yes. I've had a lot of coffee already today, which is kind of concerning. So we'll have to see if I can piece something together here. But in the meantime, we'll stay alive. We'll stay awake. We'll stay good. All is happy. We got bells. We got bells. We got bells. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna. Hopefully, it doesn't crash on me here. It might. Hello, Francie. Okay, we got sound, which is good. There it is. Yep. So this is what I was worried about. That's okay. We'll try this. We'll just jump in from here. There we go. So we've got very loud drums coming in here. down the drum set a little bit here. Too expressive on that French horn. We'll have to fix that. I love that part. Cool. All right, so that's where we'll stop for now. Is everything put right into Logic? Okay, so this is what's happened. Have I imported from the score we were working on? No. I actually tried to do that, and what ended up happening was there was a lot of rhythms that didn't quite come through as accurately as I had hoped. So what I ended up doing was use the inspiration from what we had before, written in Finale, and I put it into Logic. So it's inspired by, it's not exact. So if you're wondering, like if you go back a few streams and you're watching the one that we did Finale, it's like there's some weird spots here. What's going on? This is an interpretation of what we did in Finale. So I apologize if it's not exactly the same, but there are a lot of elements that are similar. Now, I want to talk about some of the instruments that are being used. I want to talk about kind of the approach that I'm using here. It's not done, as you can hear. There's still some more stuff. You can hear the drums kind of going there. But yeah, the importing didn't quite work as well. So it's kind of like very, very frustrating. Hello to Music Video Piano. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And thanks everyone else for joining me. I know it's a little bit later than usual. So if you have to boogie early, that's totally fine. I apologize for the late stream today. And it'll be the same as next week as well. So next week, unfortunately, I'm teaching at my studio at different times, just to kind of prepare for the Christmas break when I don't work. So I have these 2 Saturdays with students, and it goes right till 2, which is usually when we start. So I have to come home, and then it's a setup, and then we dive in. So it's kind of a different schedule for these next 2 weeks, and then Christmas break comes around. So we'll address Christmas break next stream, but this is why it's a little bit later. So I apologize for that. Okay, so let's dive into this, what we've got so far. Okay, this is Logic. Of course, this is a DAW, a digital audio workstation. This is the stuff that we did before. And we've got tubular bells, oboe, French horns, which we're going to have to look at that a little bit. Strings, monster low ends, tuba, grand piano, and drum set. Now you're probably wondering, hey, Sam, why is there 2 strings? One says Piz, and one says Arco. We're not going to dive into why I called it Piz. But basically it's pizzicato. But it's not actually pizzicato. What I did was I just basically said this is the short detached strings, and these are the long kind of Arco strings. These are the strings that are very kind of big energy, big, long, kind of drawn out string parts, which is a lot different than short and detached. So kind of cool. Hello, Carol. Welcome. A little late on that hello, but hello anyway, all the same. So we start with tubular bells, very minimal. I love this start. It's a very like kind of church bell kind of sound. You can get a lot of character out of that. And now I've got some note changes here. That sets up kind of what's coming, right? What is going to happen? This is all music is about. It's all about tension and release. So you start very simple. But if we just kept repeating one single note, it would get boring. It would get very boring. So that's why we keep it minimal. The repetitions are only going to happen a few times, and then we're into some harmony, which is kind of cool. Right here. Thumb, and then we go up like a half step, creating a minor, which is really cool. So let's take a look at what notes those are, because I want to show you how that harmony is working and what's actually going on there. There we go. So we start with G, G, and G. Right? G. Thanks, Sam. You're welcome, Sam. So we got G, G, and then we've got D and G. So this is a perfect fourth if you are doing those interval kind of theory stuff. And then we move into a minor third, or a major third technically, because it's E flat to G. So that's kind of a weird thing. Intervals are very complicated because you always have to go from the bottom up to analyze it, and whatever key signature your bottom note is, that's how you would analyze the interval. So E flat, for example, E flat moves to G. Well, that's a major third if you're in the key of E flat. If you're in the key of C minor, that's a different story, right? Then it becomes a minor and all that crazy stuff. But when you're working with intervals, you always have to go from the bottom up. It's very, very confusing. I don't like it, but that's besides the point. So that's what's going to create that subtle tension, that subtle movement. And now we're back to the normal G. Keeping it minimal. Cool. So now I've doubled up oboe and the kind of plucked strings, which is really cool. Oh, no worries at all, Carol. Not a problem. Glad you're here. Glad you're rocking with us today. So oboe and pizzicato. If I single these out and get rid of the tubular bells, it creates this like... Do you hear the mix of string with oboe? It's like, it's got like this almost this churning sound. This is the stuff that as a composer or as a creator or as someone who is writing stuff for orchestral music, you have to be mindful of. And it's something that Finale doesn't do for you when you're writing. And this is the hard part when it comes to writing music, is you have to keep these things in mind. Pizzicato strings, or like the pluck strings, if you have this really intense kind of bow, right? They're not pizzicato, I guess. They're more bowed than anything. Very detached notes. You're gonna get that kind of that grainy sound. That Let's take a listen. That sound goes really well with oboe. Now, that sounds very repetitive on its own. It's very repetitive. It's the nature of the song. And this is what makes Carol of the Bells so hard to work with, is because it's really hard to make it interesting. But it doesn't take much to make it interesting. So let's take a listen to what the bells are doing, the tubular bells. This gives us something interesting to listen to, right? Add the harmony. And now we're into the main idea. Now, I don't like how this is like a cold open. It just kind of comes in really strong. I would honestly write something kind of that leads into it, like a do-do-do-da-dee-da-da, or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, here it just kind of comes in. There's no warning. It's just bam. I don't know. I'm not sure I like that. I'm gonna move the monster low ends up a little bit in terms of volume because it doesn't sound like there's a lot of bass and there's a lot of drums. So we're gonna turn those suckers down. You know what I think it is? I think it's my mix. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to turn up the bass frequencies of this track. Oh, that's the high end. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? High end, high end, high end. There we go. There we go. It's kind of there. It's kind of there. I'm not a huge fan of that. What I think I'm gonna have to do is turn up the sound on this actual thing here. Yeah, there we go. Let's try that. I think that'll be a little better. Hold on. There you go. Now you can hear it. Absolutely. I'm gonna dive into the drums in just a second. The drum part's actually pretty cool. I really like the drum part. So let's talk about what happens at this moment. We've got strings coming in as arco, which is just bowed, really long, big, open sounds. We've got monster low winds, which are kind of like the reed instruments. You're looking at bass clarinet, you're looking at oboe, you're looking at kind of those big flutes, essentially, big clarinets. You got tuba, which of course is the tuba. And then you got some piano kind of drizzled on top with the drum set churning on the rhythms. So we're going to talk about how this is pieced together and talk and kind of look at the rhythm and all that stuff. But if there's questions about why there's two string parts, these are just two different sound libraries or two different sounds. So it's the same sound library. However, I have to like set it to one setting so it plays all length and then the other one all staccato or all broken. Because of the way that I play, I find it very hard to kind of navigate it's called mapping. So you can basically say, okay, if I press the key this hard, it will be staccato. And if I press the key this light, it'll be nice and relaxed. So some composers, what they do is they have a certain setting they really like, they'll set it to that number, and then it'll be like, okay, if I want staccato, I'll go la da 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 da. And they'll be able to go really long after that. It's kind of a weird mix. You have to really think about how hard you're pressing every time. I find it slows down the creative process, so I just found a simple way. I just make two. A little harder on the computer, but easier on my brain. So my computer gets a little bit of a break. That's how that works, okay? So if you're wondering why there's two, that'd be why. Now, monster low winds and tuba, I just doubled. I literally just copy and pasted and just slightly moved it over a little bit so that the frequencies didn't cancel each other out if they're right on top of each other. The piano part I added as kind of a broken arpeggio. So if I click on this, you're going to see a beautiful little broken arpeggio here. Ba-bo-bo, 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 ba-bo-bo. So I'm accenting the 6, but it's also it's a little faster than the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's breaking it into smaller chunks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or it's actually sounding more like 4/4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because the strong beats, the accented beats are when the arpeggio repeats. So this is going to kind of create that 4/4 theme. I love kind of throwing 4/4 over top of 6/8. It's one of my favorite rhythms, and it's kind of a cool result. So take a listen now to the whole thing, and then we're going to dive into the drum set and what's actually going on with the drums, because Franzi wants to see the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So you could easily transition into a more of a straight 4/4. Cool. I also really love this little piano ditty at the end. I think. Where is that? Right here. Yeah, that's where it is. There it is. La 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 da dee da dum. It doesn't write it out as accurately as it's played, but super fun. Love little piano lines like that. Just a little grace note or a little trill. Da 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 da. It's kind of fun. So something to think about for your stuff if you're writing music and want to kind of add a little bit of spice to a piano roll. Da 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 da, which is pretty cool. All right, drum set time. Drum set time. Oh no, Tony, you got the flu? Oh no. Tony's got the flu. My gully is still working on healing as well. Sounds like everyone's kind of just surviving until Christmas time. I feel that. I'm with you. We're together strong. You'll make it. You'll make it through. Okay. Here we go. So this is not accurate notation, I would say. I don't like how it's written in Finale. I really don't. It's not as accurate as it could be. I mean, we could go with the page view and kind of show you. Essentially, these rhythms are what's being played. So the rhythms are accurate. The notation, you probably wouldn't see a low C like this for a drum set notation. You'd probably see it up in kind of the A region or a little higher, right? Just to kind of keep it inside of the staff. I don't like how it's there, but the only reason it's there is because where the sounds are downloaded in the piano, that's where the note has to be played. So that's the only reason it's in that lower register. Otherwise, I would say you put it a little bit higher in between each note. Did you use the drum creator or write out every note? I actually just kind of played it on the piano. So for me, the rhythms come naturally with physical motion. So I learned the drums. I learned how to kind of figure out where those drums sit. So now if I want to, that kind of thing, right? I can't do it because it's like delayed. It's so hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Something like that. Ugh, that's hard. So yeah, that's what I usually do when I write these out. So these are all played like a piano. Ba ba bum ba bum bum bum. Now, do I do it all at once? No, sometimes I just do one drum at a time just so I can make sure it's accurate, because I can't do everything all at once accurately because then you're just wasting time, right? So one at a time is usually the faster way to do it. So let's just take a listen to the drum part and see if we can identify some rhythms here. Okay, so one thing you will notice with the kick drum, so the dong, 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 okay, this is outlining the 4/4, just like the piano is. However, the piano is a lot busier, but connecting them, you get a really cool sound. I'm just going to take away some of these. Don't worry, I can put it back right away. I'm just going to take away these for now, okay? So take a listen to where the 4/4 hits. This isn't 6/8 time, this tune, but check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get kind of a mix of 6/8 and 4/4. It's really, really cool. And one of my favorite parts of writing in 6/8 time is kind of interlacing this 4/4 pulse in between. Not to the point where it's like, that's 4/4, but enough to say, oh, wow, something's going on here. It's kind of cool. So what I'm doing here is I'm going, if I isolate just that part and take away the kick drum, now you can see the rhythm here. It's a dotted 8th note, 16th, which is crazy, but also really cool. So what we've done is we've displaced this bum, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because that's what we have in our time signatures, 6 8th notes in each measure. This back half, I'm actually going to use this so you can see it a little better. This back half that we've got here, okay? Can I make this bigger so you guys can see it? Yes, there we go. So this back half that we have of our measure, this is exactly what we expect with 6/8 time. Boom, boom, boom. 4, 5, 6. Done. However, this part here is not what we expect. So we've got a dotted 8th note, which means we have a little bit of extra on that 8th note, or essentially it's half of whatever's in front of it. So half of an 8th note is a 16th note. So what we have here is 3 16th notes. That's what we have to think about when we play this. But it's ba, 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 ba. We don't actually play all 3. We just have that in our heads. So ba, 2, ba, 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 ba. 1, 2, 3, 4, ba, 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 ba. That's it. So when you play it all together, right, it sounds like it's held just a little bit longer. So you hold it a little longer. Ba, 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 right? Dum, dum, da, dum. The fast one is here. That's your fast rhythm. And that's going to lead you into the last 3. So 1, da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. There's the kick drum again. We brought it back in. So we've got this da 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 da. Yeah. And that's what makes our drum part. Very cool stuff. Interlacing rhythms is very challenging to keep track of, but once you can get the hang of it, and once you can kind of figure out, oh, okay, that's where this goes, that's where that goes, and accurately place all that stuff, man, when it comes together, it is so satisfying. So let's hear it all together with all of our parts. Now, I'm going to put it to the strings here and show you guys the kind of the chords we're using for the strings, because I find that that's quite fun to look at. Here we go. Frenzy sounds good. Put it on the list. So we kind of just repeat the same thing over again. Only this time we've got some bass notes that are a little different. So let's talk about this section, because I love how effective it is at extending the idea. That's what we really are trying to do here. We're extending our ideas. The strings here are kind of repeating the same thing twice, this string arco here, okay? And with it, we get really cool results when it comes to making kind of a diverse sound, or making the sounds just a little bit different. Here, if I just isolate this part, really cool. So we just repeat that again. Really, really kind of clustery sounds coming in. And it's so hard to tell in the mix because I haven't mixed it quite perfectly yet, but it's going to kind of blend all of this sound together and then release it. So it's like it just kind of becomes this mess and then turns into resolve, or kind of the chord just kind of releases itself. And there you go. Now you're back into that same idea. But this time, we've got a sustained bass part all the way through. This is just G over top of all of this. So it's G minor over G. We got F over G. We got E flat over G. We got F over G. And all of these chords, these slash chords, which essentially you can play on the piano, guitar, bass, drums, whatever you, I mean, not drums, but you know what I mean. You can play it on anything. They are pretty cool, and they give you a really cool harmony that you can work with. The G stays constant all the way through. Really cool stuff here. So we've gone from F over G here. This part here, that's F over G. And then we've got E flat over G, which is kind of good because there's a G in the key, in the E flat chord. And then we get F over G again, only we've taken out the C. So having this really cool drone go over top is really cool. And what's really interesting is we have this drone in the bass for the upright basses and the cellos, but then you get to the monster low winds part and take a look at this. It's changing. So we get this. This little creepy movement underneath. Very cool. A great question from Franzi. Isn't this piece in the key of C? Well, I hate to break it to you, but I think I deviated. This, my friends, has a B flat in it. This is G minor. or B flat major, depending on the key you want to play in. Yeah, G minor. It's the G minor. Boom. So now we've got that bass. You hear it kind of creeping around underneath everything. You got the piano over top. Get your drums kind of churning underneath. The bells are still going. Of course, we have to have Carol of the Bells. You have to have bells. Great. So the French horn's just kind of sprinkled in there as well, just because it's a counter melody. It's something that's going to counterbalance the low winds, and the piano part just kind of glues everything together. Doesn't have the main kind of spotlight yet. It's just kind of there, just kind of jumping in, jumping out. I might add some trombones to that as well. French horn now has the very important job of setting up our expectations. This is something that happens a lot in music. You'll hear an idea just ever so faintly, and then it'll come in as the main idea. I love this. I do this all the time. I'll introduce it, and then I'll bring it in fully. So take a listen to this, just the French horn part. So, la da da la da 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 da. Great. La da da da. And then take a listen to what happens here. That's a really cool piano run. I really like it. And we've also got the bells doing this. Doesn't quite sound right, does it? On its own. So, what did we do? We introduced with the French horns. So you come in. It's almost like the French horns start and the piano and the bells finish. And that's what gives it this kind of sense of ending that you hear before we move into the next part where the piano takes over and kind of has this little creepy la 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 la, which sets up our main idea of the song. La 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 la. Oh, I guess it's not the main idea. It's kind of the second half of the melody, right? So let's take a listen to that and see how it kind of works together with everybody. And then we're going to listen through with this French horn part and talk about why it's too loud. There you go. So now we're into this new idea. Ding dong, ding dong. The bass of the piano, this is rolling through the piano part. French horn's getting stronger here with some harmony, or some, I guess there's two parts. And now we're into this big main part. Okay, so that is kind of the end of that idea. It's very hard to continue that pattern without it getting boring, right? You could add some extra layers maybe, so which is what I might do later, but that's about it. because you don't want to lose the melody, right? You don't want to lose the form, the structure of the whole thing, because this is an arrangement, right? We're not writing anything really new. We're just using what was already there to make it sound epic. Now, let's talk about this string part. La 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 la. I put this in the violins and the viola parts. And just doubled it, just going down another octave. Sounds like something I've heard before. Yes. So this part specifically is the part that would be recognizable as, you know, Carol of the Bells. And the weird part is with Christmas music like this, everybody just does it. I don't know what the copyright is. I'm not selling this for money, so it's all good. But yeah, it's really, really funny how it's like everyone just makes Christmas songs. It's like, I can make one. I can make one too. Yeah. I've added the bells here to add some little puncture kind of moments. Boom. 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 Really cool. Really cool. I've added some bass parts, so cello and bass kind of string parts, and that's going to be ba, 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 highlighting the 6/8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that helps kind of drive that forward a little bit. The monster low winds are doing the exact same thing along with the tuba. So we've got 3 different sections, or 4 different instruments if you count the cello and the bass being 2, doing that part. It's really, 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 really powerful. The French horns are just holding through with that note, but the grand piano is doubling up with the strings. So now we have this really cool combination of piano and strings, and that's used all the time in this song. Everybody uses that. It's really, really powerful, really, really effective. Don't fix a don't fix a thing that needs. Don't fix a thing that isn't broken. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes. Now let's talk about the drums, because the drums are doing wacky, wacky stuff. Hate to say it, but I love to say it. We've got some rhythms here that don't make no sense. Basically, it's hard to explain. Let me try and explain it to you in the easiest way possible. I'm putting different rhythms over top of other rhythms. That's essentially what's happening. These are called polyrhythms or polymeters if you go, 2 different time signatures. This right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay. Sorry. It's not 4. So it's 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm slapping 3 over 6, which really mathematically doesn't make much sense because it would look like 2, right? 1, 2, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that cymbal crash is a very heavy metal. It's very metal. I don't know where it came from. It just happened, and I love it, and I'm gonna keep it. But it might be a little too intense. So let's bring it down ever so slightly. So I put that little dot at the end of the drum part. Why? Because it's the end of the phrase, right? It's the end of the what's next? So it's different. It's new, right? And so you have to you have to show but not tell, right? So, well, you're kind of telling. Never mind. You're just telling. Basically, you go da-ba. It's different. It's just ever so slightly different. And that cues our brain to go, hey, new part, Or, hey, that's different. What's coming up next? Boom. And you're paying attention, right? It's all about attracting the ear's attention. So let's take a listen to the whole thing now, and let's see how it all fits together. So same thing here. I just moved to the ride cymbal. And then duck it, duck, 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 duck. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope I'm on there, but yeah, it's kind of neat how you can kind of play around with these time signatures a little bit. So my next steps with this, and I'm not going to do this today because it's impossible for me to write with this kind of like dual polarity thing. It's a pain. I wish I could just sit here and write for you. But that was fun. Kind of fun, kind of cool. I got two sounds going here. There you go. There's the drums. Sounds like someone's falling down the stairs. Ow! 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 Oh! Jeez! Oops! Ah! Oh! Just kidding. Very fun. So that's the drum set, and I can do that off the stream, and I'll show you guys the next kind of phase of this. Probably the end is probably what it'll be. But that drum set is now on the ride cymbal, so you've got that dang, 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 dang on a lighter cymbal. It's not as crashy, it's not as boomy. And then you've got this like kick pattern. Oh, sorry. I'm talking about a different part. This part here. So that's kind of the tom stuff. So if you ever see a drum player playing on the toms, doo-doo, that's the tom sound. And I put 2 because they usually have like the 2 sticks, so you can go doo-doo and kind of rock with that. So when you play around with these kinds of things, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1. Da-dum. Finishes the idea. Bum, bum, ba-dum. And then you can play around with putting stuff on like the and of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 5. Kind of cool. Now let's talk about this part. This is inspired from the Pentatonics version of Carol of the Bells. If you have not heard it, go check it out right after the stream. It is so stinking cool. The beatboxer in the group whoa. I just got something in the chat that's pretty heavy. Just to let you know that Theory Mary has a tornado where she lives, and Marcia has a storm approaching. That's why they're... Holy... Okay. Shout out to Theory Mary and Marcia. I hope you guys are okay. Stay safe. Let us know if you're good next stream, if you can. Or reach out to Tony. That's crazy. Hope you're in a safe place and able to keep your family safe from the storms. That's wild. Yikes. Okay. Well, thank you for letting us know there, Music Video Piano. Appreciate it. Yeah, looking forward to hearing back from Theory Mary and from Marcia. No worries at all. Theory Mary, my goodness. Tornado at this time of year? What's going on? Wild. Okay. Crazy. Well, I think we're going to be wrapping up here pretty soon, actually. I have to boogie at 4, and I'm sorry about that. It's just this next 2 weeks are crazy busy for me, so I'm trying my best to make the most of the time we have together. Now, the drum set with this part here. Yes, thank you very much, Music Video Piano. I appreciate that. Let's talk about this. So we've got some faster parts with the cymbal. It's very quick. It's very quick. Right? So when you put it together and we're accenting our the snare part, da 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 da, da, da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Yeah. You have to kind of speed it up in your head. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, we're accenting the 4, 4 a little bit. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can see here it's on the and of, what is that, 2? 1, 2, and 2. Yeah. So in Logic World, this means I'm going to play everything as 16ths. This is actually a pretty good visual representation of where that snare hit actually lands. So snare on 1, E, and A, or this is technically 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 N. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 N. So 1 and 2 and. So this is the and of 2. And 3 and 4 and 5 and. Oh, I miscounted. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Yeah, so this is on the and, no, sorry, the downbeats. 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, no, no, yeah. It's so easy to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's right on those 4, 5s, and 6s, which is pretty cool. And that drum part is inspired by the Pentatonics. So go check out Pentatonics' Carol of the Bells after this stream. There you have it, folks. That is Carol of the Bells as of right now. And it's really cool to hear all of these different sounds come together. It's really cool to hear all these patterns come together in a way that sounds a lot more organic and real than the computerized generation that we use with Finale all the time. So I'm glad that we were able to look at that today. Now let's talk about some logistics here before I say adioses, amigoses. Right now, what do I have for the next stream? So the next stream I have, we're going to keep looking at Carol of the Bells. This might be, well, this will be the last stream that I have before January 1st. So this will be our final kind of Christmas themed stream, or Christmassy, I should say, which will be really fun. And it's going to be on, now let me just double check because I have the 15th of September here, which isn't ideal. So give me a second. Is the 15th? Yes. Okay. So it looks like right now I'm going to put it on the 15th. I know it's not the Saturday, it's the Friday. The Friday is going to be from 2:30 till 4. So we're going to go from 2:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or that's, I think, 14:30 to 16 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on the 15th. So if you can be there or be square, just kidding. If you can be there, that'd be fantastic. Love to see you. Love to hang out with you. So be sure to mark your calendars for that. That'll be our final stream of 2023, which is pretty crazy to think about. So yeah, wanted to let everybody know about that before we say goodbye. And if there's any questions that you saw and maybe you want answered in the next stream, be sure to write them down, get them in the chat, or just send a message to me on Facebook or on YouTube comments under this video. You can let me know and we can talk about what you want to talk about in the next stream. Oh, hello, Scarlett. Welcome, welcome. We're just wrapping up, actually, unfortunately. I wish we could stay longer today. My hair is long. It is long. It's getting quite long. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a haircut soon. I tried to get in before. Oh, interesting. Weird. Yes, so we had a different time today. But next stream will be on Saturday the 15th at 2:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 14:30 Mountain Standard Time. The last stream for 2024 or 2023, sorry, will be next Friday on the 15th. So we'll let everybody know, we'll get everybody in, and we'll have a good time listening to our final epic version of Carol of the Bells, which will be super cool, super fun. It makes you look younger. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm liking the beard look too. I think I'm going to keep that too. So yeah, I think that's all for today. Sam locked the door again. I didn't mean to. So, pretty funny. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me there for 15 minutes. I know it wasn't the long streams that we're used to, but I have a prior engagement. I got a boogie here at 4 o'clock. So, yes, if you missed today's stream, you can go back, watch the whole thing again. It's quite cool. It's quite fun. And we'll get a full version of that next week. I'm going to write like a madman, post the time in our group. Will do, as well as on the Sam Vesely official Facebook page. I'll do that as well. Alrighty, everybody, take it easy. Have a great rest of your week. I really hope you guys are feeling good and feeling great coming into Christmas holiday season. It's a busy time of year, and I just, remind yourselves to take care of yourselves and, treat yourselves once in a while. It's always good. Yeah, I'm glad we were able to work on Logic too. The DAW, the digital audio workstation. So cool. Yeah, take care of yourselves, you guys. Go say hi to your loved ones. Go listen to some music. As always, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Like the video, comment what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next stream. Take care, you guys. Bye for now.